My name is Heidi Fardell and I'm super excited to be part of Recorder31. So a little bit about me. I'm a recorder player working with various early music groups, and you can often hear me on BBC Radio 4's Add to Playlist. And like most musicians, I wear many hats. As well as performing and recording, I also write articles. I'm a teacher, an ensemble coach, an adjudicator, and along with two other colleagues, I direct Banbury Early Music Festival. One of my biggest passions is diversifying the musical canon and championing the work of historical women. So for Recorder31, I thought I'd highlight some of the historical female composers you can find out more about or play yourself. I'll start with Claudia Francesca Rusca. Rusca was the first published female composer, and like many early modern women who composed, she was a nun in her home city of Milan, and several other ladies of her family, aunts, cousins and sisters were in the same institution. She was noted as a singer and organist, as well as composing works for performance in the monastery. And in 1630, she published a collection of sacred vocal works, which included canzoni. Another notable composer was Isabella Leonarda. She was born into a wealthy family in Novara and entered the Ursuline convent of Sant'Orsola at the age of 16. She composed music for the church services within her convent, and she was an extremely prolific composer, publishing her first collection of music in 1640 when she was only 20 years old. More than 200 of her works were published over a career spanning around 60 years. There's also the work of composers such as Hildegard of Bingen, a 12th century Benedictine abbess, singer and lutenist Maddalena Casulana. There are works by Vittoria and Raffaella Aliotti, Francesca Caccini, Leonora Duarte, Marietta Priuli, Antonia Bembo, Elizabeth Jacques Deleguer, and that's just the beginning. The only issue is not all of this music is immediately accessible for the recorder. A lot of it is originally for keyboard or voices. However, when has that ever stopped us recorder players? A lot of vocal music is perfect for the recorder. Now, I have to give a huge shout out to Eric Haas of Von Huner Workshop and his fabulous book, Women's Work. It contains all of these names and more. In fact, over 70 pieces of music by female composers, all arranged for recorders. There are also other places you can buy your music. For example, Recorder Music Mail have lots of sheet music to explore, and the Early Music Shop have also got various pieces by some of the composers I've mentioned today. For my next project, I'm working on a recording which is all about the work of the historical female publisher Jeanne Roger, whose name is on the pieces she published between 1716 and 1722. Although Jeanne's father was still alive during this time, it was much more common than people might think for women to continue running the publishing house after the male name had died. My recording will include previously unrecorded repertoire by Schickhart and a cello sonata by Passione, in addition to pieces by Galliard, Sieber and Klein. And staying with celebrating women in music, one of the groups I work with, Sounds Historical, are currently touring a new programme that is all about historical women who have shaped music and often left out of the music history books. Our programme is centred on female poets, patrons, scribes, performers, pupils, dedicatees, publishers and of course composers. And if you'd like to come and join in a workshop next month playing music by historical female composers, Sarah Jeffrey is coming to Banbury Early Music Festival this year to run a workshop on this very theme. The workshop is supported by the brilliant Society of Recorder Players and is for intermediate level players. There'll also be a concert by Sarah too, and concerts by fellow recorder players Annabelle Knight and Daniel Scott. And there'll be recorder makers, Julie Dean and Tim Cranmore, and of course the Early Music Shop will also be there. Tickets for Banbury Early Music Festival are on sale now, so please head to the website. I hope you've enjoyed hearing a little bit about historical women in music, and if you'd like to support more of this work, I have a crowdfunder that I'm running at the moment for the Jeanne Roger recording. Thanks for listening and enjoy the rest of Recorder31.